Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous Tuesday. Today I have my July favorites. I have quite a bit to share with you, so hopefully I can keep the chit chat to a minimum and just be able to get through them. I have some high end, I have some low end, you guys know how I do, so let's get started. The first one that I wanted to share with you is this beauty, which is the Chanel mini rectangular flap in the black caviar leather with the light gold hardware. Usually you guys know that when it comes to summertime I end up going for very, very small handbags. It makes it a lot easier, especially because of where I live. It gets very hot and humid, and I do have the lambskin mini rectangular flap, and even though I prefer the lambskin when it comes to this version, there's just something about the caviar that I really like. I love how carefree it is, even though lambskin is not as delicate as people say it is, but this one I just don't really have to think twice about it. Plus the fact that I can transition from day to night easily. I mean, I can use this during the day. I am now able to use it crossbody, so that makes me super excited, and I can just end up wearing this if we go on a date, if we go to the movies, or whatever it is. So I do love this little bag. I've been using it quite a bit, and the caviar leather, as you can see, it's a little bit shinier, and this version is definitely a little bit more pronounced than the other mini rectangular flaps that they had in the past, and you can really see that the stitching along the flap here is very prominent. Sometimes they end up having the minis without the stitching. Some people are a fan of it, some people aren't. The stitching is really, you know, is very similar to the classic flaps that they already have in the fashion house, but you know, it doesn't bother me either way. Whether it has it or it doesn't really, you know, it's not a make or break for me. But this bag, even though it's small, it just fits so much. And I did do a going from a neverfull into a mini video last week. If you guys wanted to check it out, I will make sure and put it at the end of this video if you are curious. And let me just share with you guys the interior really quickly. It's really simple. It doesn't have too much going on. It has one little slip pocket here, which I don't really use too often. But again, the fact that I can use this when I'm out shopping, I could put it on crossbody, and then I could hide the chain and use it as a clutch if I'm going out. I think it's wonderful. And like I said before, I've been using it quite a bit, or I used it quite a bit back in July. So I think this is an awesome bag. So the Chanel mini rectangular flap in the black caviar with the light gold hardware. All right, moving on to this beauty. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. I am in love with this palette. When it comes to makeup, a lot of you know, again, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I am a big fan of Too Faced makeup. Too Faced and Urban Decay, they're just some of my favorites. I decided to give the old chocolate bar a rest, and the chocolate bonbons from Too Faced a rest as well, because I've been using them quite a bit. But let me see if I could hide the mirror so I could share the colors with you guys. But check out these colors. They are beautiful. A lot of you know that I also end up going for neutrals when it comes to my eyeshadow, and I always end up going for a darker look on my eyes. Even though when I'm not filming, sometimes I end up wearing very minimal makeup. I think it looks super awkward and super funky, so I don't know if I want to do that on camera. I might, who knows. But you know, again, these are the colors, and I end up using this one for my crease, and I end up using the, what's it called? The Cocoa Chili for the outer part. There we go, so you can see them a little bit better. So I really end up using all the colors, but I mainly end up using this guy here for the crease, and then this one up here, and just really the dark browns. I just really like the way that they look. They're awesome. But this palette, it's been around forever. This was a gift from a friend, and I just think it's wonderful. So if you want to try out a new palette for you, but has been in the game for quite a bit, then try out the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. It is awesome. All right, moving on to another one. This is the Louis Vuitton Mini Pochette in the monogram canvas. This doesn't really need a huge introduction. A lot of you know how I feel about the Mini Pochette. I think it is an awesome small leather good from the fashion house, and I don't think I switched this out. Maybe I switched out once or twice in the month of July, but I really ended up sticking to the monogram canvas. I had the Dami Eben one for ages, and then I got this one as a gift, and I have really been enjoying it, but you can really see that the leather tab has started to patina quite a bit, which I am a fan of. And I mean, this is just great. You can use it for a catch-all, as a wallet, as a clutch. There's just so many different ways that you can use this. A lot of people end up putting an extra chain on here and using it crossbody. So if you want to go really, really minimal, then that's another great way to do it. I do really, I do miss my phone fitting in the mini Pochette just because, well, mine's old. Mine's an older phone. It's an iPhone 6S, and I know the 7S, there's no way it'll end up fitting in here. But this one's just a tad too big to fit in here, but when it did, it was awesome because then I could fit everything in there without a problem. But if you guys want to try out a small leather good from the fashion house, I highly recommend the mini Pochette. Very, very low cost per wear, actually to the point where mine has paid for itself multiple times over. I also did, I went a little bit more in depth on this on my handbag essentials that I filmed last month, and I will add that at the end of this video as well if you're interested. So, awesome item that I used to death in July, the Louis Vuitton mini Pochette in the monogram canvas. All right, moving on to another goodie. This is the Christian Dior Show Fusion Mono long wearing eyeshadow. That is a mouthful. But this eyeshadow here, I actually purchased it I think about a month and a half ago, and I've really been using this quite a bit. This with the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. But I think that when it comes to higher end makeup, I'm really a big fan of Dior. I talked about it in my last monthly favorites. I just really like their quality overall. Some of the other brands I do like, but either their eyeshadows aren't as great as this other aspect or this other part of the fashion house or of the makeup brand. But when it comes to Dior, I think that whether it's their eyeshadows, whether it's their highlighters, my goodness, whether any type of makeup that they have, I think is really awesome. So let me just, enough chit chat, here I go, rambling again. Here is the color. This is in 621 Mirror. They do have different colors to choose from. There's I think a pink, a green, a blue, like a royal blue, and this one is just a very subtle gold. There we go. You can barely see it, and let me just swatch it so you guys can see it a little bit better if you can. Maybe not. It almost looks like a highlighter, but this, it has those subtle sparkles. I know some people aren't a fan of the chunky glitter as I am. Usually the more glitter it has, the more excited I get. But I wanted something a little bit more subtle, something that I can end up using with you know, whether I had another eyeshadow that had a lot of glitter or just something just not so much, not so in your face. And this is perfect because it does have that really nice sheen to it. And I will put links on the description box below if you guys want to check them out. But I picked this up at Sephora, like I said, about a month and a half ago, or maybe a month ago, somewhere around there. But I've been using it quite a bit. All right, moving on to another Louis Vuitton item, this guy right here, which is the Empreinte clay or the key pouch, and this is in the color Cerise or the cherry. I switched out of this twice. I switched into the monogram canvas clay, but I love the Empreinte clay. Even though I am a big fan of the normal canvas clay because it's also incredibly versatile. I mean, when it comes to the Empreinte one, just because of its size, it's a lot easier to be able to use it as a little mini wallet. And I particularly like the red one just because it adds a nice pop of color. A lot of you know, again, that I am a huge fan of pops of color in my handbag. I might not have the most colorful handbag collection because I end up sticking to neutrals. It just makes me feel a little bit better. But when you open up my handbag, I am all about color, whether it's teal, pink, red, you name it. I just love it, and I just love how beautiful this color is, and it's a very subtle classiness to it. You know, some people aren't a fan of the Empreinte leather just because of the way that it looks, but I just feel that it really elevates the piece just a little bit more. And again, the size is really great to be able to use it as a little mini wallet. Now I will have to say that I might end up removing the chain on this one also. I ended up taking off the chain off the black one that I had because I ended up using it as a wallet so much, and it's the best thing, the best decision I have ever made. I really don't foresee myself selling this anytime soon, so I'm just going to remove the chain, and then that way it makes it a lot better for me to use as a mini wallet in the future. Because that chain is great, but sometimes everything gets stuck on there, and it's kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest. So I'm really loving the Empreinte clay. awesome, awesome item, and it's very carefree as well. You don't have to worry about patina, you don't have to worry about scratches really, because it's just nestled inside of your handbag. All right, now the next item that I have, you guys know that I am a super, super casual dresser. I always talk about being a sneakerhead. I love sneakers. I did add a new pair of Vans to my collection. I need to take it easy on the sneakers because I have all my sneakers up here on the right hand side. You guys can't see it, but I need to just stop because I have every color and I just keep getting carried away. But I ended up buying these beauties. These are the Vans Old School Zephyr edition, or Zephyr style. But it is the old school edition because it does have the canvas here, and this part on the back side and on the front is made of suede. But I'm a big fan of pink. I am a huge fan of just the old school style. I think that Vans are incredibly, incredibly comfortable. These were $55? $60? I don't remember. I think it was something like that. But these are awesome, and they're pink. I mean, they're pink. I have the black ones. I use the black ones to death, and I just wanted something to jazz up the whole sneaker collection. Not really, because I'm lying through my teeth because I have a ton that are pink and sparkly, so I don't really go for neutrals when it comes to sneakers. But these are incredibly comfortable. I just really love Vans. So if you want to try out Vans, if you like pink, this kind of reminds me of the Rose Ballerine from Louis Vuitton, to be honest. So that's another thing that I was really attracted to. But I wasn't able to find these in the store, so just thought I'd let you know. I had to purchase them online. I went to every single Van store that I can think of here in Southern California, and everyone's like, no, 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 they have like a peach, like a salmon color, but I'm like, no, 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 I want the pink, that soft baby pink, and this is perfect. So these are awesome. You can't go wrong with Vans, right? All right, and then another item that I have is one of my newest purchases. This is the Chanel O case in the black caviar leather with the light gold hardware. This light gold hardware, my goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied, matches this light gold hardware on this rectangular mini. But this O case, I do have a red lambskin one. I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite items to use. But this is perfect because I end up using it as a cosmetic pouch. I like the size that it has, plus the fact that you're able to just kind of maneuver where the items go. It's not as stiff as other cosmetic pouches, and it's one of those things that even though it's really, really small, you can end up fitting a ton in here. And currently I just have my mirror, my Le Beige from Chanel, my antibacterial from Bath & Body Works, and then I have a lipstick. What is this? Oh, my Dior lipstick in 260 Bright. But, I mean, check out that color. You have that beautiful burgundy color. But just the O case is just awesome. So if you want something from a different fashion house, and let's say that you've tried the Louis Vuitton cosmetic pouch, I did have a few of those in my collection once upon a time. I currently have one left, which is the multicolor. And to be honest, I prefer this for a cosmetic pouch over the Louis Vuitton ones. I really like the size, again, and I like the fact that you can also end up using this as a little mini clutch if you wanted to. I used the red one for a wedding, and it was perfect. It was just small enough to fit everything that I needed. And does it fit my phone? I don't think I fit my phone in the other one because I didn't carry my phone, but check it out. It fits your phone too. So, I mean, if you have a little, like a little card holder, you have some lipstick, or maybe your car key fob or whatever, this is perfect. It ends up fitting everything inside. So like I said before, it doubles as a clutch, and it is awesome. So I highly recommend the Chanel O case. Whether you get the flat or the matte caviar leather or the lambskin, either one of them are really, really great. The last item that I wanted to share with you is an item that I need to stop using because every chance I get, I use it, and it's to the point where Robert even called it my uniform because I use it so much. And that is a shirt that I picked up at Nordstrom Rack. This is from Beach Lunch Lounge. I picked it up in the size large. I really ended up should have gone for a medium just because it ends up fitting a little bit better. But this is a plaid, very, very lightweight, almost like flannel type of sleeveless shirt, and it also has this awesome little tie at the bottom. And I don't know about you, a lot of people might not be a fan of it, but kind of reminds me of like the 90s style, you know, fashion. And I grew up in the 90s and I've always had a soft spot for it. So I like using this, especially with my Vans. But like I said before, I should have gone for a medium because it's a little too baggy on the front. It has a little pocket here. And I just think this is such a really, I mean, such a great shirt, and it's very, very lightweight. And usually when it comes to flannel, especially in the heat, that's always a no-no, right? Because you think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be sweating, it's gonna be so bad, blah, blah, blah. It's not. It's very, it almost feels like any other type of shirt that I have. Let me see what kind of material this is. Maybe I'm wrong. It's 100% rayon. It's 100% rayon, but it feels exactly like a regular flannel tee. So this is awesome. And I will have to say one thing, that I think that because of my chest, I do have a large chest, when I end up using this, sometimes I feel, because it doesn't have the sleeves, it almost looks like I have torpedo boobs. You know what I mean? Now, hold on, bear with me. What I mean by torpedo boobs, I don't even know if that's a thing, all right? But I feel that it makes my chest look a lot larger than maybe what it should look like. You know what I mean? And I think it's because of the sleeves. But whether it makes my chest look bigger than it really is, even though I do have a large chest, I still like the shirt. I still like it. I've paired this with black shorts, like cutoff shorts, and my Valentino pool slides, with my Vans, you name it. I just like the overall look that it has. And like I said before, I grew up in the 90s, so I have a huge soft spot for 90s type of clothing, and I think this one definitely fits the bill. So torpedo boobs or not, you know, that's usually something I wouldn't say on my channel, but I really feel that it just looks like, when I go to the side, it's almost like, whoa, what is going on? And I would normally end up sharing with you guys and let you know, maybe do a mod shot, but because of that comment, I won't. But I highly recommend this shirt. It was awesome. I think I paid 24 bucks for it, or 29 bucks, something like that. But again, Nordstrom Rack, and it was a really good good deal. And they have other colors. I think I'm just gonna end up buying a few more just because I like them so much. So 100% rayon, very lightweight, and perfect for summer. All right, you guys, so that does it for my July favorites. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to talk a little bit faster about the items because I have a tendency to ramble. We all know this. Sometimes I could talk about these shoes for like 10 minutes, no problem, but that would be incredibly boring. I've had some of you guys ask me if I will do a Vans collection video. I don't think I would unless you want me to. And if you want me to incorporate more food on my favorites videos, let me know. I thought that I wanted to share a seasoning with you. I thought that maybe that would be just a little too much. But I'm so happy that you guys liked my last one where I talked about the cotton candy grapes. A lot of you guys sent me messages and pictures on Instagram that you guys went out to look for them. And I mean, most of you said that you liked the way that they taste. So that was pretty awesome. So let me know. You know, I know that my channel is mostly luxury goods. Very seldomly do I talk about makeup, but I still like talking about makeup. But if you want me to talk about food items, I will do that too. We will make my my favorites videos something completely different from my normal videos. So let me know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.